Welcome to another Jamaican fun time story. This story is entitled A Day at the Waterfalls. I hope you enjoy it and thanks for watching. It's another beautiful day here in the jewel of the Caribbean. The sun is bright and the warmth can be felt throughout the happy atmosphere that seems to come alive with the morning sun. The birds are singing, the bees are buzzing, and the butterflies are fluttering. Oh, what an amazing morning! Yvonne exclaimed. I think I will take advantage of the day and head out to have some fun. But what should I do? Got it, she exclaimed. Why don't I take a trip to the famous Dunn's River Falls and enjoy one of Jamaica's most beautiful landmarks? Yvonne planned out her day and got ready to head out. She decided to make an important stop on her way to the falls. When she lived abroad, she would come home to Jamaica for vacation. She always loved to visit the Dunn's River Falls with family and friends. On their way to the falls, they always stopped for breakfast at the Coconut Tree restaurant located in Discovery Bay. It is a popular restaurant for tourists and locals alike. I'll have the ackee and sawfish with fried dumplings, please. Yvonne pipes up. The friendly servers were happy to see a familiar face and they laughed with each other as they caught up on old times. After devouring her meal, Yvonne decided to stop in the gift shop to purchase some water shoes. She remembered the time when she went barefoot walking up the falls. She slipped, both legs went up in the air, and she ended up in a pool of water. She felt embarrassed, but didn't let that damper her day as she laughed with the other tourists at the incident, later dubbed the Great Fall at the Waterfalls. She said her goodbyes and was on her way to her date with the falls. When she arrived, she pulled into the parking lot, and the site was already crowded with buses and loads of tourists. So even though she went alone, she knew she would be meeting tons of people. She exited the car and went to the falls entrance where she decided to read up on all about the world famous Dunn's River Falls and Park. She sat there reading to herself. Fun fact, she starts. Dunn's River Falls is one of Jamaica's most desired national treasures. It is approximately 55 meters or 180 feet high and 180 meters or 600 feet long. The falls boast impressive, huge natural stairs made of rocks terraced in the waterfalls. Several small lagoons are mingled among the vertical sections of the waterfalls. The waterfall's final destination is to empty into the Caribbean Sea at the western end of an amazing white sand beach. It takes approximately 1 to 1.5 hours to climb the falls. There are also stairs that run parallel to the falls for people who cannot manage the rocks, which can sometimes be slippery or would rather stay dry. She continues. The climb can be difficult, so it is usually undertaken as a hand holding human chain led by a guide to make it easier. When you come to Dunn's River Falls, you can enjoy more than the waterfalls, such as zip lining and a host of other activities for whatever is your pleasure. Then Yvonne exclaimed, "Oh, maybe I'll do some ziplining next time," as she closed her book and headed over to the starting point of the waterfalls. Yvonne quickly found a group to join, and as they began the climb, Yvonne realized that the rocks were quite slippery. Her first few steps were wobbly, and she grabbed onto the nearest people, two bewildered tourists named Susan and Amy. "Sorry, ladies. Looks like you both are my climbing buddies now," she declared, grinning widely. Suddenly, Yvonne slipped on a mossy rock, did an impromptu split, and then broke into a fit of laughter, so hearty that she tumbled into a pool of water. Everyone standing around started laughing right alongside her. Then she exclaimed loudly, "I seem to be having a case of deja vu," as her buddies helped her back onto the rock. Despite the initial chaos, Yvonne pressed on, determined to reach the top. She cheered on her fellow climbers, offering words of encouragement that ranged from, "You got this, superstar," to, "If I can do it, so can you." At one point, she started to sing along, belting out reggae tunes that echoed off the rocks and added to the festive atmosphere. Finally, they reached the summit. Yvonne threw her arms in the air triumphantly, still soaking wet from her unplanned dip in the water. "We did it, team!" she shouted, hugging Susan and Amy. She high-fived everyone else. They took a celebratory selfie with Yvonne front and center, her grin as bright as the Jamaican sun. As they made their way back down, Yvonne reflected on the adventure. Sure, she'd slipped and stumbled, but she'd also laughed harder than she had in ages and made new friends. Dunn's River Falls had lived up to its reputation, not just as a natural wonder, but as the backdrop of one of the most hilariously unforgettable days of her life. And as the day winded down, Yvonne sat on her veranda reminiscing about her day. She laughed while sipping a cup of hot tea and thinking about the day's event and how much fun she had. She met new people, made new friends, and promised to stay in touch. Then she exclaimed, "With so many beautiful natural wonders that Jamaica has to offer, I'm going to be busy for the next few months," as she smiled with a gleam in her eyes. Thanks once again for watching A Day at the Waterfalls. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. This helps us grow our channel. Until the next story time, appreciate love.